everybody, welcome back to Universal Teas. It's your girl Toya. This episode is called Make Yourself Uncomfortable. Yes, you absolutely heard that right. It's called Make Yourself Uncomfortable. And the reason that I called this episode Make Yourself Uncomfortable, it's kind of a play on the concept when you go to somebody's house and they be like, sit down, make yourself comfortable. But no, we're talking about life. We're talking about experiences. And sometimes life be telling our ass, make yourself uncomfortable, sis, or bro, like, get uncomfortable. And we don't want to get uncomfortable. And I feel like that is something that kind of holds us back from becoming our best selves. Because we know that our goal here on Universal Teas is always to become the best version of ourselves no matter what, right? Regardless of what life throws at us. And so with that being said, I wanted to make the first point that being uncomfortable is inevitable, right? If you're living, if you're breathing, if you're experiencing life, there are going to be instances when you are uncomfortable, whether it be in a job, whether it be in a relationship with family members. There's going to be times when you are uncomfortable, right? And so what I want you all to take away from this when we get through this episode is that don't be afraid of discomfort, right? Because one, it's going to happen again. And then two, it's just a milestone in a process that we all call life, right? Being uncomfortable is inevitable. You can be in the backseat of a car with somebody and be uncomfortable. You can be in a 10-year relationship. You can be in a marriage. You can be in a class and be very uncomfortable, right? And I just want you all to understand that you're not alone. And being uncomfortable, oh, y'all showing so much love. Hey, hearts. I hope y'all sharing the video too. But being uncomfortable is something that we need to learn how to embrace, and we also need to learn how to like pinpoint what it is. If you all saw my post leading up to this podcast, I asked two questions, and I hope I can remember them because y'all know how I am with my memory. The first question that I put on the post leading up to this was, what is something in your life that's making you uncomfortable right now? Is it someone that you're involved with? Is it your job now that you feel uncomfortable with? And when I say uncomfortable, I don't mean that you feel like you're in danger, because you need to call the police. Okay, if you're uncomfortable to the point where you feel like you're in danger, I'm telling you to call the police. Forget all the advice that I'm about to give you, right? But I mean discomfort in a way that you feel like this ain't really for me no more, or you're questioning why things are happening, or you're just not feeling some of the patterns that people are presenting to you, right? And the other question I told you all to think about before we started was, what is it trying to teach you? Because discomfort isn't something that just happens and we, just go through it and deal with it. There's a lesson that comes from discomfort, okay? And I try to equate being uncomfortable to something that we've probably heard before called growing pains, right? If we're never uncomfortable, we never grow, okay? And when I was thinking about this, you all know that I'm a very visual person. So the way that I want you all to kind of see what I talk about when I say growing pains, think about when you grow out of a shoe size, okay? When you realize that you thought you could still go to Foot Locker and shop on the kids' wall, I'm talking about myself, and then you try on that last kid size and it's uncomfortable as hell, but you trying to be like, okay, maybe I could take the sole out, maybe I could try to be cool and rock them with the laces untied. No, sis, you grown and you need a grown woman's shoe, right? So in that instance, when you are uncomfortable in that shoe, you don't just go around walking with the shoe on. You get you a bigger size. That's a signal that you're growing. That's a signal that you need something new or something different. Another growing or growing out of your pant size. Miranda, you all in my head. I was about to go to the clothes thing too. The example that I thought about with clothes is, yes, of course we grow out of like pant sizes, and that shit is uncomfortable too. Or like me, I've been losing weight, and that's uncomfortable as hell too. Baggy clothes be uncomfortable too. Like your girl trying to get thick and I'm going the opposite way, it's also uncomfortable, right? I don't want to buy a smaller pant size either. But the idea that I wanted to give with clothing is, and my ladies can probably relate to this more, or my fashionistas, male or female, I'm gonna be gender neutral here. But when you and your girls or you and your people are going out to an event, one of the first questions people ask is, what you wearing? And I hate that question, but they ask that because they don't want to go to an event and be uncomfortable because they're overdressed or underdressed, right? So what do you do in that instance? When you feel like you're going to an event, you want to fit the occasion. In your life, you want to fit what you're stepping into. You want to fit your growth. You want to fit your vision. You want to fit the success that you're trying to have. So in your mind, you asking the people in your head, yes, I talk to the people in my head, y'all. You're asking them like, where we going? Right? You're asking God like, hey, where am I going? And what do I need to be prepared for? So in this instance, when you have an outfit, you want to make sure that it fits the occasion. If you going out with your friends and your homegirl coming to pick you up and she got on her club dress, she got on her high heels, but you got sweats on, what you gonna do? You're not going to walk out your house in your sweats because that's not fitting the occasion. It's not fitting your destination or where you're going. You're going to go back in your room, in your closet. You're going to try on different things until you feel comfortable, right? So discomfort is not something that I want us to run away from. It's not something that I want us to be afraid of. But once you get uncomfortable, that is a signal that you need to grow into something else. Here's another example. I'm a science teacher, right? Snakes shed their skin all the time. They get uncomfortable in the skin that they have, so they have to shed it in order to grow. When snakes grow, they shed their skin, right? So don't be afraid of discomfort, okay? I see some people in here that I haven't actually shouted out, but I see Miranda. What's up? What's something that you all feel that you do or you need to do when you get uncomfortable? What is some advice you have from people? I'm currently in a very uncomfortable situation, and I'm always trying to find new ways to, I keep hitting my microphone. I'm always trying to find new ways to sort of grow and sort of look at things. One thing is focusing. Like last episode, we kind of talked about focusing on your goal and leaning into it. But when you get uncomfortable, that's a signal that you need to grow, right? And we need to find some steps that we need to take in order to grow, okay? So let me see who we got. So if you're here, make sure you're sharing the video. Bounds, what's up? Dariana, what's up? Y'all, I am so hot. Okay? I am like burning up under this sweater. But y'all don't need to see my muscles, so I'm not going to take it off. Because y'all don't need to see my muscles. But yeah, like when we're becoming uncomfortable, that's just time for change, right? And then being in discomfort, you don't want to, I don't say that you don't want to sit in discomfort, because I said that last week, and yes, it's true, but I think for some people, when we come to uncomfortable situations, it's not easy for people like me in general to just sort of like jump to the next thing or sort of jump to the next stage or the next step. I'm very analytical, right? So in my discomfort, I may not be physically moving to a new point, but mentally I'm trying to figure out like, what the hell am I trying to be taught here? You know? And I kind of hate that pressure when people are kind of like, you need to do this. You need to do something now. You need to do something different. And I'm like, well, I don't even know what the fuck is happening to me right now. So listen to yourself. When you're presented with obstacles and when you're in difficult and uncomfortable situations, I'm a person who needs to analyze it. Like, okay, this is making me uncomfortable about this person. And is it the things that they're saying? Is it the things that they're doing? Is it the things that I'm doing or I'm allowing? Because sometimes, and I'm about to get all up in y'all business. Sometimes we can be the reason for our discomfort being prolonged, right? Because sometimes, and don't lie, y'all realize that a situation is worn out. You realize that pair of jeans got the little holes in the middle where your thighs rubbing together, but you still want to put them on. You knew, baby girl, you knew you was getting a little more hips, and it's time for you to go and buy some new jeans, right? And so when you realize that you're experiencing this discomfort, don't try to act like you ain't know. Don't try to act like you ain't know you took the soles out them Jordans, because you bought them when they first came out like a couple years ago, and you want to fake stunt like you just got them on a new release, but you took the soles out. Nah, boo, your shoe size went up. You uncomfortable. You need to change something. You feel me? So sometimes we sort of ignore our discomfort. Now that's different. Now me, in my case, it's like, okay, I'm acknowledging that I'm uncomfortable, and now I'm trying to figure out like what my next step is, right? I don't know if y'all ever heard, and I got some new people joining in. Miranda, I see your comment. I see y'all. So let me just hold on, take a pause. If you are just joining, hey y'all, the way that this works, you're not just here to watch me sweat and hear me talk. You are commenting, you are talking to me, you're giving me advice and my friends that are watching. So go ahead and talk to me, right? I'm not just looking for an amen section. I want y'all to actually get in there with me, okay? But what I'm talking about is, for me specifically, in my uncomfortable situation, I can't just jump to the next thing because I ain't gonna know what the hell I'm doing. Like, if I tell you I can't swim and I just drowned in this pool, how the hell you gonna tell me to go jump in another pool? That don't make no sense, right? I need to figure out why the hell I drowned. I need to learn how to swim so that when I get into another pool, I can be successful, right? So discomfort doesn't just not only does it tell you that you need to change, but it tells you that you need to learn how to analyze the pain that you have, right? Sometimes we need to feel it. A lot of people I know, and I'm from the hood, right? And I've realized that people from the hood, when we go through things, we kind of just push it off, or we kind of just try to act like it didn't happen and move on. But no, you need to feel the discomfort. That's why I called this episode Make Yourself Uncomfortable. If you are sad, be sad. I don't care if you the hitman. I don't care if you the drug dealer. I don't care what you do. If you know what I'm saying, you gang since potty train. If your feelings hurt because your homie got killed, you need to feel it. That's fine, right? And then figure out your next move. Figure out listen, I'm not promoting gang violence. But if you gonna go and hit that next lick, you need to know what you're doing, right? So you don't be out here like your homie. Being uncomfortable is natural, but analyze why you're uncomfortable so it doesn't happen again. You're going to experience discomfort at different stages of your life, but if you're experiencing the same type of discomfort, you didn't learn anything, right? You just tried to act like you were ready to move on and you weren't, okay? So I'm over here getting hot. My mustache sweating. I'm sweating. So let me see what y'all talking about. So Miranda says, for me, when I'm in an uncomfortable situation, I try to focus on a positive outlook of the situation. I try to ask questions and pray about it to make sure that I'm making the right decision for me. Valid, right? So sometimes you got to be like, hold on, this don't feel right. Hold on. You know what I'm saying? I'm a little uncomfortable. And so when you're in your discomfort, and I was actually going to get to that point of a positive outlook. When you're uncomfortable, it's important to focus on what goal you have, right? Because it's like, yeah, I'm uncomfortable in this situation, but I know that when I come up out of this, I'm going to be stronger. I'm going to be wiser. I'm going to have some shit in my tool belt, and I'm going to be unshakable, right? So you got to focus on that instead of focusing on the pain. So for some people, getting over uncomfortable situations means going and doing things and staying active and keeping busy. But for people like me, being uncomfortable is being like, okay, all right, you got me. I'm a little uncomfortable, but let me take some time. I'm gonna step back and I'm gonna figure it out. But when I start pushing again, just get the fuck out my way, right? Some of us have to sit back and analyze and make sure that the decision that we're making is not on impulse. Right? So sometimes when we get uncomfortable, especially in anger, we act impulsively. And if you beefing with somebody and they piss you off and you go and do something irrational, you're going to be more uncomfortable in the back of a cop car than you were in your crib when they pissed you off. I'm just saying, analyze your discomfort. Don't be so irrational, okay? Mary said, discomfort, in my opinion, is another form of criticism. True. And I'm going to push on that and say that it's a form of criticism. Y'all, I'm hot. That's why I keep doing this. It's a form of criticism from outside sources, from like God or the universe, Allah, whomever you worship. I feel like that is the criticism, right? When you're uncomfortable, it, for me, is like, okay, girl, you getting too comfortable in this toxic situation. You're getting too comfortable being lazy. You're getting too comfortable procrastinating. So I'm gonna turn the fire up a little bit. I'm gonna make you uncomfortable because you gotta grow, right? So sometimes discomfort is criticism because it's criticism letting us know that we need to change, right? Hey Anna, she said yes, unshakable. If you can't sit and being uncomfortable, you can't grow. If you cannot sit and be uncomfortable, you cannot grow, right? And that goes back to the point that I was making before. Like, a lot of people, specifically a lot of my friends in the hood, like especially a lot of black men that I know, we don't. Well, I'm not a black man. Love y'all, but I'm not one of them. Black men try to like shy away from emotion and feeling, and they just try to go on to the next thing, whether it be women, whether it be making money. Like, making money is this big like thing. If you're not making money, you're not doing nothing. I hate the fact that now hustling is necessary, right? But I hate the fact that it's like people are creating this what would I call it? They're creating this sort of expectation that everybody should be hustling. When in all actuality, if you struggling, sit your ass down and be uncomfortable and plan how you gonna make your money, right? Because now you going out here busting moves that are irrelevant, right? You making money fast, but you're not even watching your back, and the homies that you think are helping you, they not watching out for you either, right? Feel uncomfortable and plan in that discomfort. Sit your ass down, okay? When you get uncomfortable, that is a time for you to chill and figure out why you are uncomfortable. Don't just move to the next thing, okay? Jasmine said, speak. Girl, I'm speaking and sweating. She says, also be mindful of those around you who dismiss your discomfort. I like that. Because, and again, y'all are helping me. I told y'all I'm literally in the midst of some discomfort. I'm going through some growing pains right now. And I found that some people do dismiss your discomfort. And those are the people who kind of don't want to see you grow. Right? If you find that you're in a situation where somebody is kind of telling you like, no, you good. Like, what do you mean? You doing your shit. You feel me? You so successful. You have this, you've done that. But you know, like, yeah, I've done that and I'm past that phase. It's time for me to grow. When someone doesn't want you to grow, when they signal that you should be fine where you are, and you're constantly reminding them like, nah, there's a next level for me, and they're just trying to validate you being where you are, watch them. Watch them, okay? So, again, like, be uncomfortable. I'm trying to go back to my notes to make sure I'm not going on a tangent, because y'all know I will. I talked about the outfits. So going back to, the example I gave before was about clothes, right? You want to find the perfect outfit to fit the occasion. You don't want to go to $1 million dinner in your sweats and your Jordans, which, you know, we think sometimes Jordans fit every occasion. They don't. But when you're realizing or you're going through your outfits, okay, and this is a different point that I want to make. You're going through outfits trying to find something to wear. And I've been in this situation, ladies, gentlemen too. And I need to stop trying to like put this on a gender. But when we're looking for clothes to fit a certain occasion, do y'all ever get so frustrated that you are uncomfortable in every outfit that you wear? And you just be like, fuck it, I'm not going. Y'all been there? Don't lie. I do that a lot. Like, or you get up, right, after you told somebody you gonna pull up or you gonna come to this event, and you wake up like, I ain't feeling the same way. I'm just not gonna go, right? I say that to say this. Sometimes we get uncomfortable to the point where we realize that we shouldn't even be entertaining the situation at all. Miranda said, hell yes. Right. You get to the point where it's like, you know what? I shouldn't even be going. Or you even sometimes, y'all ever have that instinct where it's like you said you were going to go somewhere, and then in your mind and your body and your soul, it's kind of like, I don't think I should go. And you just are like, you change your mind and you be like, no, I'm going to stay home. And then you hear on Facebook or on the news that something happened at that event. Sometimes being uncomfortable is not just a signal that you need to grow or change. Sometimes it's a signal that you don't need to be involved in the situation at all. Okay? So I want you all to also think about that and remember that. Like, you don't have to go everywhere. You don't have to do everything. You don't have to take every opportunity that is presented to you, because if it's uncomfortable, you should not do it. Okay? Just a side note, since we're talking about discomfort. Don't let discomfort... Oh, excuse me. That was gross. Whatever. Don't let discomfort also be the same as your anxiety. Because I know for me, I do have really bad anxiety, and sometimes I freak out about situations that aren't necessarily valid. But I had to ask someone, how do I know the difference between me being anxious and it being like an intuition or a gut feeling? And the advice that I was given, okay, so don't let your anxiety lie to you. Hold on, y'all. I need to take a sip of this wine because I'm hot. Ooh. All right. Being able to differentiate between your anxiety and your intuition. They told me that anxiety is kind of like a full body thing. Like you feel it all over your body. You kind of like have the physical aspects. I see this question. I'm about to get to it. You have like the physical symptoms of anxiety, and it's kind of just like nervous and nitpicky. But they said intuition is kind of like just a calm feeling. It also doesn't leave you, but it doesn't make you feel like, it doesn't make, I don't want to say anxious because that's what I'm comparing it to, but it doesn't kind of bother you physically, but it's just something that kind of always sits in your mind and your heart, okay? So don't let discomfort, right? So anxiety feels like shivers and like it's an obsessive thought, right? My anxiety is really obsessive and intrusive, but my intuition is calm. It's kind of like a butterfly floating past, right? And anxiety is like a bee. Ooh, good. Look at that. I just came up with that analogy. So for me, my anxiety is like a bee. You know how bees are like buzzing and they like zzz, like everywhere? That's your anxiety. But a butterfly that kind of just like floats by, that's your intuition. So listen to your intuition, and that is the discomfort that I'm talking about. Okay? Miranda said, do you think sometimes discomfort can make you miss your blessing? I mean, do you? I feel like, let me think about that. That's a good question. Can discomfort make you miss your blessing? Discomfort makes you miss your blessing when you mistake discomfort for anxiety. Or discomfort for anxiety, right? Anxiety makes you miss your blessings, not discomfort. Discomfort is sort of the butterfly I was talking about. It's like a gentle reminder of something that you need to do that you might ignore. Anxiety is like that beeline. Like it's annoying, it gives you shivers and physical symptoms, okay? So I don't think that discomfort makes you miss your blessings. Anxiety does, okay? So, y'all a little quiet this week, and that's fine, but I'm gonna keep pushing, okay? So the key point that I want you all to get from this chat, is this is the same for life's uncomfortable experiences. So all these analogies I gave, the swimming pool, you outgrowing shoes, you outgrowing clothes, you trying to find outfits to fit certain occasions, those are all signs that you need to change. And the way that you can be not comfortable because we're getting uncomfortable, but the way that you can acknowledge your discomfort is by figuring it out. Sit back and analyze it, and don't be afraid of it because it's going to happen in different situations, okay? Get uncomfortable, but get analytical too. Don't just get uncomfortable and don't become the bee and just be doing anything because that's not going to solve your discomfort. I promise you, if you get uncomfortable and you just try to like move to the next thing, you're just going to relive the cycle. Okay? You're going to relive the cycle because think about this. If let's say you are someone who is in your job and you're realizing that you really aren't feeling where you work. So let's just say you are a broker, right? And you work for a broker firm and you're not feeling what's going on there. But you take this discomfort and you're like, okay, I'm going to quit working at this broker firm, and you go right to another. And then you do the same thing. You realize, no, this broker firm isn't for me, and you go to another. When you didn't sit down and realize that maybe, baby, you don't need to be a broker. Okay? Let me break it down for the rest of my people that's from where I'm from. Let's say you out here trying to sell bundles, sis. And you find you a vendor to get your bundles from. And you notice that, like, I don't really like this. I don't like making wigs. I don't like selling bundles. So you shut down that vendor, go to the next one. This vendor got me messed up. Every week, somebody trying you. This vendor got me messed up. I'm not about to work with them. You leave and go to another one. Sis, you don't need to be selling bundles. Because first of all, you don't even got no hair. Second of all, you have no business skill. So maybe you don't need to be selling bundles, sis. Maybe you need to be on the mic with me talking, right? So take your discomfort and figure out why the hell are you uncomfortable in the first place so that you don't experience the same cycle over and over and over again, okay? So being uncomfortable is going to happen multiple times, but if you're experiencing the same type of discomfort, that's a problem. Okay? You haven't analyzed it. It is okay to be a black man. It is okay to be a strong woman. It is okay to be in the LGBT community and be uncomfortable. You don't have to fit anybody's mold. Let's be clear. I don't care what you are, who you are, where you're from, what you want to do. You don't have to fit anybody's mold. You don't have to fit your family, your community, your culture. Whatever makes you happy is what you need to do. And if you are uncomfortable, figure out what it is that's making you uncomfortable and change. Discomfort is a signal that you need to change, right? Yeah, I'm from here. Yeah, I'm from the south side. Yeah, I'm from the low end. But that's not where I'm going to stay. I had to change. I got to go. I'll be back, and I'm going to still kick it with y'all. But I got to change. You feel me? Get uncomfortable, because that's a signal that you need to grow. Okay, we're a little quiet in the chat, but that's fine. So another part of my podcast that I do is something called heart work. And this is because I actually want you all to grow. I actually want you all to become the person who you need to be at your best, okay? And so when I give heart work, it's sort of like some things that you all can do, and I want you to do them. I want to see you doing them. Tag me in these things that you're doing, and these are things that are going to elevate you. So for heart work this week, we're talking about being uncomfortable, okay? And if you have a journal, I would love for you to journal it. If you don't have a journal, we all have a cell phone. Put it in the notes section of your cell phone, on your computer, whatever the case may be. Write it on the Post-it note. Shit, I don't give a fuck. Just so that you can reflect on it. But I have three questions. 3 questions that I want you all to reflect on. The first thing that I want you to do is journal this. What is currently making you uncomfortable? And if you say nothing, you're lying. Because we all have a next dimension that we need to get to. You probably just haven't realized what it is yet, right? So what is currently making you uncomfortable? Is it your partner? Is it your baby daddy? Is it your mama? Is it your boss? Or is it your job? Okay? Is it the guys? What's making you uncomfortable? That's the first thing that you need to write. After you've figured out what's making you uncomfortable, what could this be prompting you to change? Okay? Do you need to leave them? Do you need to sit down and talk with them? Do you need to change your career or just change the company you work for? Do you need to move to a new state? Okay? What is it prompting you to change? Get deep. Think about it. Third thing, what positive outcome is what will the positive outcome of the process be? Okay? What is going to be the positive of you leaving that relationship? What is going to be the positive of you leaving that job? And when you figure that out, that should be your focus in your discomfort, okay? If you leaving your job and you starting a business is going to get you to the 6 figures you want, focus on that 6 figures. Because if that is your focus, you're going to do everything necessary to make sure that you get there. And that kind of relates to the last episode too. So if you didn't listen to it, go ahead and listen to it on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. But focus on the goal. Focus on the success story that will come from you growing out of your discomfort, okay? So those are the things that I want you to work on. If you're not a part of my Facebook group for Universal Teas, I will put this in the Facebook group so you can reference it. If you want to reference it, just send me a message if you're not in the Facebook group. But I would highly encourage you all to join it, okay? So that's our heart work, is journaling those 3 things, okay? So there's also a part of my podcast that I like to call Plugged In. And the reason that I call it Plugged In is because this podcast is not for me, okay? I call it the People's Podcast for a reason. So if you see in the chat, if you are in the chat right now, I just dropped the links. So this is Facebook, Instagram, website for a business for a friend of mine who I went to grad school with. Her name is Jasmine Bounds, and her business is called Jazzy Design. So this is like event support, party favors, educational support. There's like a plethora of other things. I was on the website and I was like, girl, what is it that you don't do? She's based in Milwaukee, but I'm sure you can have consultations and conversations and she can reach people in other places. But her website is beautiful, so go ahead and visit it. It's called Jazzy Design. If you need Jazzy Designs, let me not misspeak on people's things. But yeah, make sure you check it out on Facebook, Instagram, and she has a website that is beautiful and it's very easy to navigate. She has amazing reviews on there from people that she's worked with. So this is something that I can tell she's worked hard on and she's been diligent with. And I can tell you just from being in grad school with her, she's a very diligent scholar. And I know a lot of mutual friends that we have. She's a very amazing mutual friend. She's a very amazing teacher. So go and check out Jazzy Designs for any events planning needs, educational support, tutoring. We know we're in this virtual world right now. So go ahead and get those supports you need, both for students and parents navigating this whole virtual learning thing. I'm about to close us out and then we can chat offline really quick. So let me go ahead and close this out. All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to Universal Teas. It's the People's Podcast. See you all next week on Facebook Live at 5 p.m. I hope that you all join the conversation next week. Bye.